everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Hello. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy TraderPrad here. How you guys doing today? Hopefully you guys had a wonderful Monday to start off your week with. Last week of September, we're here. 2 more months and the year's over. Well, September, October, November, just 3 more months and the year's over. But boy, oh boy, what a September has it been. Hopefully, you guys had a wonderful Monday. I myself was a little busy today. The family member who was gonna come take care of my dog, dog sit basically, was busy doing something else today, so I had to stay at home. Was not able to go into the office, so I slept in from extra a little bit. Stayed up a little bit extra watching that TV show on Netflix called Monsters. I mean, that was an interesting show. Was able to finish that all day yesterday and today combined. Got to watch the market move around a little bit, but felt like the market pretty much didn't really do anything, right? We chopped around for the most part, and then we just ended a little bit lower, ending red on the QQQ, but barely red, or maybe even barely green. The market basically not doing a whole lot, but even then we had some good movers today. You had Tesla going up a decent amount, Palantir running up a decent amount, so there were movers. Even if the market didn't move, you had opportunities across the board. Intel going up to the north side, Micron going up to the north side. So we have some names over here that we can potentially look to trade tomorrow, even if the market doesn't want to do a whole lot of extra stuff tomorrow also. So we have a watch list, or I should say I have a watch list, and I would love for you guys to throw in some names that you're looking at. Maybe I can take a look at those names too, see what they're doing, and give you some technical analysis on it if that's something that you're looking for. But I have a watch list ready to go, and we're gonna have some good time with it. Hopefully you guys were here for yesterday's stream with Victor H investing. That was fun, understanding a little bit of the investing side of the market compared to me, who's a day trader. Got to see both sides of worlds, and how our both mentalities are kind of aligned with some stocks and so on. So looking forward to seeing how those trades play out, because some of those trades are currently going against us, right? Some of those trades are currently against our thinking, but okay, we're still not taking too much of a beating on it. Let's see if we can get a nice little turnaround on that call out for Palantir to the downside. Palantir, what a monster move today. Before we go into the stream, let's see who's in the chat. We got TH. What's up, TH? Are you happy now? What is that comment, TH? What does that even mean? We got Dieter. What's up, Dieter? Always good to see you in the chat, brother. We got Ani. Look who showed up, ladies and gentlemen. The day that we are not talking about her, she's here, but the day that we're talking about her, she's MIA, and she doesn't even respond to messages on Discord. We tagged her in our server. We were talking about her, talking to her, but she never replied. That's awesome. Thank you for that, Ani. But hey, it's lovely to see you in the chat as always. We got Soze. What's up, Soze? How you doing, brother? Hopefully you had a wonderful Monday. Pat retired at the start of summer. I mean, I don't really watch Wheel of Fortune, and when I did watch Wheel of Fortune, it was with Pat Sabek. Pat Sabek, I think that's how you say it. Ukrainian or Slovenian name, Pat Sabek. I don't know who does it now. I don't know who hosts it now, but I think, as you mentioned earlier, Ryan Seacrest hosts it. I don't watch it anymore. I'm gonna keep it OG because I'm an OG dude, right? OG dude. Dieter raging. Ah! I did what now? You ignored our messages, Ronnie. You ignored our messages, so we're gonna ignore you. I'm joking. We can't do that. Say Jack? I thought it's Sebek. Or do you have, is the B silent? I guess the B is silent. I guess the B might be silent. Oh well. Sajak. Hi, TH. No, nobody talk to Ani because she doesn't reply to our messages. We don't reply to her messages. Nobody reply to Ani. She gets the silent treatment today. Okay, chat? She gets the silent treatment today. Let's head over to the main screen and show you guys what we have in store for today to talk about. So obviously some of the names, as I mentioned: Palantir, Intel, Qualcomm. Intel, Qualcomm, possibly Qualcomm looking to buy out Intel, but I have some comments about possibly that deal not going through, so we'll take a look at that. Micron with a nice breakout to the upside. Tesla with the big run up to the north side. GME, is that stock back in play? Let's find out. Snowflake looked like it was gonna have a decent recovery, but now Snowflake announcing that they're going to be doing a $2 billion IOUs. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. Stay tuned for that one and how we can potentially make a trade off of that. PLCE, LUNR, some of the names that have been kind of going crazy, but maybe pulling back. LUNR at least pulling back. I did not see where PLCE is. We'll take a look at that. FDX recently cracked down with its earnings move. We'll see if there's a possible long on that trade. Coinbase, just to see the Bitcoin currency trade opportunity. Oracle, another stock that recently announced earnings and is in a nice little consolidation range. And then we have our Magnificent Seven, out of which mainly we care about the movers such as Tesla, Meta, Apple, and actually Google went quite a bit to the downside today. Google and a bunch of other stocks over here that we might be interested in the semiconductor basket, such as AVGO, our ETFs, QQQ, S&P 500, and IWM. Really quickly, just going to run the software and grab the ATRs or some of the stocks that I have not yet grabbed. I can delete MU because it's in my watch list twice, and I think I saw Tesla twice. There, and then I'll just copy this watch list real quick, paste it in here, and then I just need to type it out. So just bear with me for a moment while I just copy these ATRs for myself. 8.74, 10.27. No, it's gonna crash. Oh, it did not. Wow, that's awesome. Okay. Oracle 4.82, 5.07, 4.5, 3.59, 7.95, 14.17, 5.50, 10.69, 5.65, 7.55. I think we had Intel twice too, so we can. $9. Ooh, QQQ $8 now. Volume going down and ATR coming down along with it. Not what I want to see. 0.59. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I needed to do. Thank you for giving me a moment to do that. Now that we have ATRs loaded up in our watch list, now it's just a quick glance. We don't have to keep going back and forth to grab our ATR, which is usually a nuisance, an absolute nuisance. So at the top of the watch list, we have Palantir. Palantir Friday night got added to the S&P 500 index, and then today, usually what we see is stocks like these moving back to the downside after they get added, but today we saw a little bit of a completely different action. Palantir running up another 2%, almost like a hedge fund did not buy Palantir on Friday by mistake, or did not get enough shares of Palantir on Friday to match the index regulation, and they went out to the market and just bought every single share that they could and just ran up this position. I mean, this stock is pretty insane at the moment, if you ask me. Today I did not expect it to go up 2%. I expected it to get sold off to the downside like Apple did. Apple down almost 1 full percent of the downside. Dell also flat on the day, didn't really run up the way Palantir did, so I was pretty surprising to see Palantir run up. But this just, the higher it goes, the better it sets up for a short opportunity. Right now we are moving almost into that $40 territory on this position, where I can easily expect a big size value being put onto the stock. Previously going into $30, there was some size on this position. I'm expecting $40 to have some size. We're only $2-ish away from that $40 area. The stock's ATR is $1.41. Now, if that $40 comes into play, it is going to be an awesome level to take part in, to see if we can get some shorts over there, or even longs through that and then short back to the downside. So Palantir is going to be very interesting. It's setting up, the higher it goes, for a better day trade short. If you guys hear my dog going off, oh, you guys don't hear him. He's barking like crazy because my sister-in-law and my brother just came back from the airport, and he's gonna go crazy because he hasn't seen them for over a week. So if you guys hear my dog screaming, I apologize, and I also might need to go greet my family, as they did recently come back from, I think, a wedding in Austin, Texas. They were in Austin, Texas for a wedding that it's like their side of the family, my sister-in-law side of the family, not mine. So they had to go for that one. Anyways, Palantir, the higher it goes, the more I'm looking to get ready for an intraday short. But you need the characteristics to really change on this stock. Right now, as you guys remember previously, how QQQ had that previous day high breakout, previous day high breakout, previous day high breakout. Palantir is almost on a very similar setup, right? We keep getting previous day highs breakout and not really breaking previous day's lows, showing you the strength in the stock. So once we start finding the area where the stock is not actually able to take out the previous day high and struggling around the previous day high, that's going to show you a little bit of a characteristics change. I still think there could be more juice on the stock into $40, so watch the stock as it keeps on rising up for that potential opportunity for us to enjoy, at least for me, because I want to get short on this stock. Next up on the watch list, we have a couple people talking in chat over here. Well, Streamlabs bot just went absolutely crazy. What the hell, Streamlabs bot? There ain't no messages I didn't reply to. LMAO FU. Well, that's wrong. We were talking and we were including you in a conversation on the Discord server, and you did not message us at all. So we're pretty upset. Not streaming the good window. Oh my goodness, am I streaming the chat window? Oh god, this is because I was where are we? Because I was streaming with Victor yesterday, so I had to change the window that I was on. So let me quick that, boom. So Dell, we'll go back to Palantir real quick. Sorry about that, chat. Sorry about that. I sold all my Palantir in 2021. Yikes. You know what? I did the same thing. I sold all of my Palantir before this run up, and I am very, very upset. Very upset for selling my Palantir. I fixed it. I apologize, Dieter. I wasn't paying attention. I thought that the stream was already back to the original settings. I messed up. I apologize. He forgot how to stream. That is true. This is very true. Very true. Good evening, Prad, Auntie. Yes! Yes! Let's go, John. I love it. Auntie and everyone else, I smashed the like, and now let's see what's shaking. So yeah, let me bring in the watch list again, because I was streaming the wrong screen for you guys. Here's the watch list: Palantir, Intel, Qualcomm, Micron, GME, and all these names. We're gonna quickly go through these names, see what they're looking like. And at the top of that board is Palantir. At the start of the day today, actually, Palantir started off with a downgrade. So right over here, you can see, where's Palantir? Right there, Palantir starting off with the downgrade from Raymond James, and using that downgrade, they actually, you know, started lower in the pre-market, but later on in the day, monster rally, taking out the previous day's high, taking out a good consolidation high around that 37.50, running up into $38. So I'm thinking the stock still has some more juice into that $40 area, at which point then we can look for a short. Let it keep doing its thing. The higher the stock goes, the better it is for the short, right? The better it is for a short. So let this thing keep going higher, and then we can patiently wait. The next up on the watch list is Intel. Intel recently caught some traction to the upside because apparently Qualcomm is getting ready to buy Intel out. If that's the case, then Intel usually goes up, and the acquirer, which is Qualcomm, goes to the downside, and we are seeing that catalyst kind of play out. But at the same time, I'm also seeing tweets saying Qualcomm is not actually, you know, looking to buy out Intel. Maybe Intel rejecting their deal, maybe Qualcomm not offering him enough money for Intel, maybe they're disrespecting them. So overall, a little bit of back and forth going on. We have some news channels saying that, you know, the deal is being talked about. We have some news channels saying the deal is not being talked about. So kind of mixed opinions, mixed rumors over here. And when things like this happen, stocks can be very volatile, very whippy, back and forth. So you want to be careful. We do have clean technicals on one of them and not so clean technicals on the other. Well, that's a lie. We do have a little bit of a clean hold over here. If the stock gets above, we can have some fun with, and you can see how we found that rejection right there, looking to go back to the downside, most likely on Intel if the news is true, because they're gonna have to put some money up to buy out Intel. That means they're gonna be out of X amount of cash eventually. If they turn this company around, they make that investment back and more, right? That's their hope by buying out Intel. So as these rumors are playing out at the moment, be a little careful, because as you know, let's say you're in the long, and the long might be the right direction, but as soon as an article comes out saying, hey, yeah, Qualcomm is not actually looking to buy Intel, Intel immediately will flush back to the downside, and you're back in pain territory, right? So stocks like these will have very news dependent, very catalyst dependent. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very careful and make sure you're using stops. Always be using stops, no matter what kind of setups you're trading, but especially when you're trading a stock that is very news dependent, you have to make sure you're using stops, or you're gonna get blown out. The stock will easily whip against you on a quick news wire, and you gotta put yourself in a mindset that you are always the last one to read the news, because someone knows the news before you. Somebody always knows the news before you. The algos can make a quicker trade decision before you can off the same news article that you're reading. So always have to be in the mindset that you're the last one receiving the news, and if that's the case, you're always going to get the worst price. So make sure you're using stops, that way you don't get the worst price. Qualcomm, same thing. If you're short Qualcomm, you know, if the news comes out that they're actually not buying Qualcomm, could easily reverse back. And if the news comes out that Qualcomm is actually indeed buying Intel and the rumors are true, then Qualcomm could easily flush even more to the downside. So opportunity setting up on both of these semiconductor names. And luckily, we have a lot more semiconductor names for us to have fun with. Micron gapping up to the north side. The most recent downgrades on Micron didn't really flush it at all. They brought it back into these ranges by rejecting 92, but finally getting back above 92 and finding some support above 92. Today's low was 92.50, showing you that Micron now has a potential reversal back to the $100 area. JP Morgan downgraded Micron, but they downgraded them to $100. They were at an $88, $87 area. So if Micron pulls back, finds support back into these $92 peaks that we recently had, potentially could look look long on this position, intraday long, get a quick little scalp back to VWAP, either today's VWAP or maybe tomorrow's VWAP, whatever tomorrow's VWAP comes into if we do pull back into 92, and look for a run back into today's high into $95 or maybe even higher than $95 over the next few coming days going into the end of September. So Micron going into 92 will be a very important level for me to keep an eye on. One of the stocks that I did not expect to catch any traction is actually going absolutely bonkers. So GME up another 2% today after the crazy run up that it had on Friday. Someone just smashed the buy button on Friday on GME. So GME getting back in play over here, question mark. We'll have to keep this one on watch a little bit longer. I think I want to go to quickly an hourly chart, see how the stock looks on the hourly, and find some potential areas where the stock could get rejected from. So here are some levels. That is around 23, that's around 25. So looking to see how the stock plays out. Currently we have an hourly chart. There's a lot of action that the stock has played out in these areas and just a lot of back and forth. So these are not the cleanest levels to trade off of, but we still have some potential levels for us to make some decisions if the stock actually keeps on climbing up to the north side, that peak into 23 and that peak into 25, to see if we can get a little bit of rejection for us to find short into. And if we start climbing above 23 and actually hold above 23, that's potentially a long on the stock setting up. So watching how that plays out. Currently this level stands out to me more than this level because that's also today's low, and we kind of tested today's low and then bounced. That's also the anchored VWAP from the earnings move, so kind of showing you that the earnings anchored VWAP is now turning from a previously resistance to now support on this position. So if we pull back and this buyer that initiated this buy move on Friday is getting ready to continue buy this position on every single dip, this anchored VWAP should basically be the support, which is around $21. So GME has a little bit of a range between 21 to 23, and if we start getting above 23 and hold above 23, then you got another $2 move up to 25 to keep an eye out for. So keeping an eye on GME without a doubt, as the volume is looking to climb back. You can see how today's volume is higher than Thursday, higher than Wednesday. So volume is coming back, and obviously Friday's volume was nuts. Friday's volume was nuts because someone just I don't want to say keystroked into a long, but it very much seemed like keystroked into a long, and they said, screw it, we're gonna hold on to it. But usually that's not how GME works. GME, you know, someone bought it, then they bought it for a reason. Maybe Roaring Kitty is back in the game, into the GameStop, because he recently tweeted a tweet of him dumping the Chewy stock, which he was very adamant on buying. So he might have dumped Chewy, bought back into GME at these $20 lows. Who knows? We'll see. Angry Buddha's in the house. What's up, Angry Buddha? The Twitter algo god. Angry Buddha, weren't we talking about Auntie recently? We were talking about Auntie. We even tagged her on Discord, and she didn't even reply to us. Right, Angry Buddha? Back me up over here, because she thinks I'm lying. She thinks I'm lying, Angry Buddha. Back me up over here. See? See? Where's that message? I can't highlight it yet. There you go. Yerp. Ani thinks I'm lying. This is to you, Ani. He's calling you this. Okay, let me quickly go say hi to my niece and my brother and my family members. We'll be back to talk about the rest of the watch list. I'll be back, chat. The hell? My brother said take 2 suitcases upstairs when you're going up. I said okay. I took 2 suitcases and now he's like, why are you taking 2? Take 1. The hell? Anyways, whew, we're back. I'm here. I was just gone to go say hi to my family who just came from the airport. I'm back. Alright, so GME, 21 support, 23 resistance. If 23 turns into support, then you got 25 incoming. So watch this stock without a doubt. We'll be on the watch. I'm out of breath now. Whew. Ran up and up down the stairs with 2 heavy suitcases. Next one, Snowflake. Snowflake had a pretty decent day. Up almost 3% today. But if you actually watch the stock in the after hours, let me turn on extended hours over here. Boom, 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 boom. Flush to the downside, right? Flushing back into this 107. Actually triggering my alert. So I'm going to move my alert a little bit lower. Yeah, I'm going to put it at 107.50. Because we want to see if we can get short on the stock below 107, which is actually the all-time low. So here's the stock. Oh, come on. The all-time low, 107. Flushing back into 107. Either it holds 107 or it breaks below 107 for us to make a beautiful trade off of it tomorrow. So watching this one without a doubt. Now, what's the news catalyst, you might be asking? Prad, why is Snowflake doing what it's doing? So after hours over here, we had a report coming out that Snowflake shares of the data cloud company fell 3% after Snowflake announced proposed private placement of a $2 billion convertible senior notes. No clue what the hell that means. So I pull up, oh, that's not it. Where is it? I take that link, I take this link, and then I do what every smart person's supposed to do. Read the whole document. No, that's not what I did at all. I took that link and I put it in an AI tool, and I basically told the AI tool, summarize this link for me like I'm an idiot. And it goes, all right, let's break this down in simple terms. Snowflake is now basically looking to borrow $2 billion to be exact. They're not just asking for a regular loan. Instead of selling something called convertible senior notes, they're basically IOUs. Buyback, they're going to use this $2 billion to buy back their own stock, pay for other general company stuff to stay afloat, like keeping the lights on, paying employees and so on, and then maybe buy other companies or invest in new technology, because obviously their technology is not great, that it deserves to bring more growth, because what they do is already being done by a bunch of other companies, and the other companies have most of the market share already. So Snowflake's struggling over here, and they're asking to basically let me borrow some money from you guys. We want $2 billion worth to basically pay for our employees' bills and so on, maybe even invest in new technology, and then we'll pay you back in 2029. So these notes will be due in 2029. It's basically $2 billion debt that they're taking on. And if we were to go back here and check what Snowflake's actual debt is at the moment right now, where do we see that? So they have $312 million in debt, and they're looking to add $2 billion more in debt. They have $3.2 billion in cash at the moment. So obviously going from 3.2 billion to maybe going to around $5 billion in cash, and going to about $2.32 million in $1 billion in debt overall. Not a great look over here. So they're diluting themselves. They're taking on more debt. They're not growing at a pace that you want to see a company like this grow. Very, very slight growth. They're guiding lower. Their earnings report wasn't that hot. So all things combined, Snowflake over here pushing back into the all-time low today after the during the after hours on that report, looking for us to take advantage of that trade and see how we can make some Money, 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 money. Wow, I am very surprised. The PLCE up 15% today and looking to break out to the north side. Let me just quickly color this stock. Looks like we're about to take out the $18 area right now on PLCE, and this is exactly what I wanted. More traps. Trap everyone short in this area, and then when this level breaks, we're gonna have another expansion to the north side, explosive expansion to the north side, looking a lot like Palantir, does it not? Right? Imagine this is like the $30 area and this is $38. We basically had the very same run up, a little bit of consolidation, run up, and another consolidation, and then we had that today's run up on Palantir, which was basically this candle right here was a candle, and that was a Palantir move. So we might see a replication of a chart on a different stock with a completely different financials, completely different statistics, and parameters to play with. This is a short squeeze. Let's actually go take a look right now. If we have updated numbers on PLCE's short float, what is the updated numbers? 58% short flow. We are going higher. We were at 40% first, then 55%. Now we're at 58%. So PLCE's short flow just keeps on climbing higher and higher, just making that squeeze even more juicier for whenever it starts going into that direction. So watching that one without a doubt. LUNR, this stock did pull back today, breaking that $8.60 area. I was looking for LUNR to be explosive, but I guess you can watch LUNR pull back all the way into the $7 barrier and then finding some support there, and then later on going back up. This is not a small cap company, but it's also not an extremely large cap company either, right? Their floats actually 62 million. They're not extremely like in the billion-dollar floats like Palantir, but it's neither like a 12 million cap like the PLCE stock that we were just taking a look at. Overall 62 million, not a lot of shares. Could easily be in that meme squeeze, not squeeze because it's not a high short float. Well, it is a high short float, 24%. Okay, never mind. Meme squeeze game at the same time. But the main catalyst for this one is they recently got a big $5 billion NASA contract, and that's why the stock has been going to the high side. Watching this one, if we do pull back into $7 to see if there's any support there for us to potentially get long into. FDX, big down move. I mean, the company still makes about $18 a quarter, $20 a quarter. That's a lot of money. But yesterday, if you guys were listening to our, is this a alert? No, it's not. Yesterday, if you guys were here on the stream, we were talking about FDX. You know, Victor Investing actually Victor H actually put in a lot of good comments for us on FDX, suggesting that, you know, Amazon, if they're delivering their own deliveries, that's competition for FDX. Most of the products in the world get bought from Amazon. You know, I recently had to buy some fly catchers, so I bought it directly from Amazon, right? A lot of people buy a lot of small things, even big things from Amazon, and they get shipped through Amazon warehouses, Amazon deliveries. That's a lot of money that FTX is now missing out on. Their previous earnings report looked great, but in the very next earnings report looked so weak, and they downgraded on themselves. So looking a little weak now. Not saying that we're shorting every single pop. This is also a boomer name, so looking for a day 3 trade on a boomer name like FTX doesn't really exist as an earnings play. You can look for a day 3 earnings play on something more active, something more volatile like Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, Micron, some of these semiconductor names. But a day 3 play on a boomer name like FTX is not really something that gets me excited for. So it's on the watch list, but it's in the back of the watch list just in case I want to see what FTX is doing later on in the day. Same thing with Coinbase right now. Bitcoin seems to have kind of topped out over here. If Bitcoin does something like pull back or rip to the high side again, then I'm going to take a look at Coinbase, IBIT, BITO, MSTR, and all these cryptocurrency names. Always keeping a track to see what these ones do. MSTR actually at a level that previously we found some resistance into. So if MSTR could find a little barrier into these highs, potentially could find a trade over there around $152, but the stock's liquidity is pretty shit, so you want to be careful trading this one. If you are new to the game, you got to be easily ready to give the stock a $2-3 risk. Its ATR is $10.12, and if you're only giving it 5 cents, 10 cents risk, you can easily get stopped out on the stock. So you want to be careful when you're trading MSTR. It could also do easily just rip to the north side. Like if Bitcoin rips, this one's gonna not care about the highs at all. It's gonna rip through those highs, so you want to be careful once again touching this name. But this high into 152 gave us a double top on the daily chart, and now we're moving right back into that level. If we're able to hold above this, I'm gonna say 152.50. It says 152.35. I'm just gonna round it up to 152.50. If we're able to hold above that 152.50 area, then easy long. But if we're not able to hold that area at least for a 5, 10, 15 minutes above that price, then there is no long at all tomorrow. Maybe a long on the next day after that, but there is no long tomorrow if we're not able to stay above this price for me. Oracle, beautiful box on Oracle being formed into $164 to $164.50 as a support area, and for the resistance right around 170. So Oracle either breaks below 164 or holds 164 and pushes back into 170 for another breakout opportunity. So just watching this $4 pocket. The stock's ATR is $5, but most likely that ATR came from the most recent run-ups the stock has had, so the ATR is a little bit higher than it needs to be. If you just eyeball these candles over here on the stock, those don't look like $4 movers, right? Those don't look like $4 or $5 movers on an intraday candle. So I'm not going to take that ATR to heart. It's basically fugazi based on the most recent action. So the ATR could be more like maybe $2 realistically. So if you can get long into 164 and get out into 166, 165, that would be an easy long for me to look to take advantage in on this position, because you're only risking about 20-30 cents on the side at max. So watching Oracle, how it plays out, but not really a high priority name. Once again, boomer name, moves slowly. You can't be expecting to play momentum on this. We also have easy support areas right to the downside below 164 where the stock could go test into. Expecting the stock to go much below these support areas is also ridiculous. We got the earnings VWAP into 161, just say 160. Then you have the 21 moving average on the daily chart going into 154.87. Let's just say 155 on Oracle. That is basically the watch list on the day tomorrow. And then we have a sprinkle of large cap names such as Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and so on. Sadly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go into work tomorrow. So if I do go into the work tomorrow, I'm going to be looking to trade all these positions. But if I don't, then you'll just see me complaining about how I wasn't able to trade again. But we'll, no matter what, be able to stream for you. Have some fun over there. Apple, taking a look to see how Apple can pay us dividends to the downside. On the S&P 500 rebalance date, they had a big down move. $7 billion worth of Apple were sold from the S&P 500 index. Looks like the SPY wants to dump Apple at this point. Not that they're dumping Apple completely, but they are downgrading Apple on their own portfolio. So looking to see if that weakness continues for a little bit longer. We did have a down day today on Apple, even though stocks like Tesla was ridiculously strong. You had QQQ basically being flat on the day, up 0.12%, SPY being flat on the day. So Apple could not bully the rest of the market down because we had some decently strong stocks. Meta ended positive on the day. Tesla ridiculously strong on the day. Nvidia didn't really do a whole lot. Microsoft didn't do a whole lot. Google, I think, flushed a little bit to the downside. So Google, Apple bearish. Meta, Tesla bullish. So watching how these positions set up tomorrow along with the market. If the market flushes, then you just go to the weaker stocks. If the market's ripping, then you go to the stronger stocks and you just join the trend on the rest of the day. I think Nvidia is just consolidating. Remember the the compression theory that I gave you guys from my manager is basically it's a spring. The tighter the spring keeps on compressing, eventually the expansion is going to be explosive. So let it compress, no need to make a decision at the moment, and when it's time to pull the trigger, you get a very small window, but you make sure that you take advantage of that window. So Nvidia, keep it on the sidelines at the moment, not really a high focus. TSM, still finding resistance into this 177 to 176 area, but not a high watch priority for me. AVGO, I think that 170 area, I remember trading the 170 breakout. That was a monster breakout. It was right here. Now the stock is back into 174 or so. We got a couple more levels I think the stock can go into before we really get ready to look short. I'm waiting more around 177 and 185 if we go there. So I'm just going to be patient for AVGO to set up into 177 first. I'm not going to care about what it's doing near 174, 175 area at all. QQQ, as we just saw, didn't do a whole lot today. The S&P 500 didn't do a whole lot today. Still green though, still green, and hanging out at the previous all-time high area and the new all-time high area. So does the market have the juice to take out the highs again and continue its rally after the most recent pullback? So we had two decent pullbacks. One of them was about 10%. The other one was about 5%. Not even, was it? No, sorry. The other one was about 5%. Hello? There we go. The other one was about 5%. And then back to the high sides as the money printer goes brrr. The money printer goes brr. Jerome Powell has turned on the printer. He's put in new ink cartridges. Xerox machine is back on, baby. That's right, Xerox. I know you guys haven't heard that name in a long time. People like TH and Angry Buddha, you old fucks in the chat, you're walking down memory lane now as soon as I say Xerox. Brad, you should do a rotating show with people, pay an editor. I mean, I need to get people to be on the show first. I need to get people on the show up first. We were lucky enough to get Victor H on the show. I don't think I don't know who you think I am, but you know, I'm a nobody in this YouTube world. I got barely any views. I get barely any subscribers. And all I have is my four loyal viewers, which is Angry Buddha, TH, Dieter, and John Wan. I don't have that pull, brother. I don't have that pull. You know, I've been calling this shit for a year. Hey, baby, that Xerox is on. The Xerox machine is on. But you know what I've been calling for? A real correction on the market. Can we get a correction? I mean, the August anchored VWAP is now at 560. I'm expecting a pullback at least to that level, but for that the anchored VWAP first needs to flatten out, and we're not flattening out just yet. Looks like we're going to run up a little bit more from the August anchored VWAP, and once this one starts flattening out, like right here it was flattening out and we got the pullback. Once we get the pullback, this one will start flattening out and showing you that change of characteristics are coming. But boy, oh boy, look at this anchored VWAP theory for just buying the market long. If you waited for this little dip buy action on the market, we got below the anchored VWAP, then we got up, then we held, then we held, then we held. If you just went long at the break of this candle high or this candle high on the market, you would have QQQ at 550 and you would be now at 570 on the QQQs, making an instant 4% profit, 3.7% profit in 4 or 5 days. A beautiful swing trade right there for you to capitalize on that position, right? That's kind of the beauty of this anchored VWAP theory. Shout out to your boy Brian Shannon. Go read his book if you haven't already. Go read his book, amazing book. I think it's called Maximizing Gains with Anchored VWAP. If I screwed up the name, I apologize, Brian. But if you just look up Anchored VWAP by Brian Shannon, you'll find the book automatically. Amazing book. I know Dieter has read it too. Dieter actually uses some of the Anchored VWAP and the 5-day moving average theories that I believe Brian Shannon talks about, the 5-day moving average. Dieter, help me if I'm wrong on that side. But you know, awesome theories being talked in that book. Go check them out, without a doubt. Coming back to SPY, Not sure what the hell SPY wants. You know, I'm looking for the short on the market. I'm looking for the short on the Qs. But, you know, the characteristics need to change. We need to get below 565 for me to even think that we have a move to 560 on the S&P 500. If we're not getting below 565 and finding selling below 565, there it really is no heavy go short on the market, right? There's only a heavy short on the market to push under 565. So I'm being very, very patient over here. QQQ has a completely different chart than the S&P 500. We're not yet at all-time highs, and if the QQQ want to push towards all-time highs, then that just means the S&P 500 is going to rally even more. So you want to be very careful what you're doing with these markets, because one of them can easily drag the other. The main reason is because most of the top 7 in the Qs are the top 7 in the S&P 500 also, and if the top 7 in the Qs want to go higher, that will take the Qs higher, and that will in return take the SPY higher. So just because the SPY is at all-time high, that doesn't make the Qs an automatic short from where they are at the moment. But if the SPY start pulling back and the Qs start finding weakness right around this recent peak that we had in August, then that is a short opportunity. But if, once again, Qs want to make this run up over here into $500, don't step in the front of that train. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. Dider coming in saying, yup, that is true. So yeah, Brian Shannon, 5-day moving average, and a lot of other cool stuff. We could run up towards 23K before the pull back that you want. Okay. I'm guessing you're talking about the SPY futures. 22K? 23K? He's awesome. Been engaging with his content on X.com. Yes, his anchored VWAP tweets on Twitter are amazing. I love his tweets all the time. You know, sometimes it looks like he's preaching, but you know, that's the level you need to get to hammer it into some of these idiots out there who are always singing buy the dip, buy the dip. But his notionality, or not notionality, his main go-to anchor point, you know, let's say anchor point because anchored VWAP, is buy the strength after the dip. So this is the, let's say you anchored over here, whatever this was probably the start of the year, right? I think that is actually start of the year. Boom, anchored VWAP from the start of the year. If you want to look long on the market, wait for the pullback. Don't really buy the dips, right? Don't buy the dips. Buy the strength after the dip, because this is now basically your stop. These are basically your stops. And now imagine you bought it over here in May after the market pulled back. You had a 14% run up on the market in 2 months. Who gets those kind of returns? Right? People die for these type of returns. The market gives you at best like what, 7 to 8% on a year. You're making 14% in 2-3 months, right? So buying the strength after the dip. So I'm crying that I want to see a dip on the market, mainly because I want to get long on the market. For example, over here we had the August dip, right? The August dip. If you just kept trying to buy the dip, you would have gotten hurt. But if you bought the strength, notice how the lows aren't breaking, and we were holding above the August lows, and then we started holding the year-to-date anchored VWAP. Buying the strength after the dip gives you an easy run up to the north side, a stress-free run up. Then you get another 7%. Then another buying the strength after the dip just gave you another 4%. So you just made 14, 7, 4. You're just making money every single time if you just simply follow the money. Follow the money, buy the dips, sell the rips. Even the same thing for the other side. If you just throw in an anchored VWAP from the all-time high, you can see how the all-time high is actually flattening out, showing you a change in trend to the upside on the market, showing you the market could easily go higher. And if we do pull back, these anchored VWAPs are now merging. The all-time high anchored VWAP and the August low anchored VWAP almost getting ready to merge and get to the same level, a juicy level, at which point if the market pulls back and starts showing you buying at those levels, you can again potentially look long. So lots of great theories over there from our good friends over at anchored VWAP Twitter. I think it's called at Alpha Trends. Traded 2 stocks today. Small profits on both Snowflake long and Tesla short. Ooh, okay. Hopefully you got out of that Snowflake long after hours. It flushed and, you know, it's going into the 107 area, which is the 52-week low, which is the all-time low. So watching that stock for either a break below 107 or a hold above 107 to get back into the long side. So watching that one without a doubt. Keeping that one on watch. Tesla, you mentioned. I mean, shorting Tesla and winning is actually crazy because it was a crazy strong stock today. So shout out to you. I'm guessing you quickly scalped on that short. Yeah, shout out to you if you caught that, because the easier trade on the stock was just getting long on the dip. Every single sell-off got bought right back up. You can see how it took 3 candles to go down, boom, 1 candle to go back up, 3 candles to go down, boom, we're right back up. So it was much easier to get long on the dips, if you ask me. But if you actually won on the short, that is a testament to your skill level. Shout out to you. Very similar to what I look for. That's my RSI trend cloud breakout I got going on. Ooh, okay. I've also seen you do Ichimoku clouds. Never really used it. I learned about it back when I was learning about a bunch of indicators, because I wanted to do not the CFA, what's it called? The CMA, Chartered Market Technician, CMT, CMA, Analyst, whatever. I still want to do my CMA, whatever it's called. The ones that Michael Noss has. So eventually when I do that test, I'll read through them all again, and because you get tested on that stuff. But yeah, I have my trading plan pretty solidified at the moment. I keep it simple, very, very simple. Technicals, I got the RSI down here, or sorry, MACD down here, which I don't really use as much, but it's a signal that I use to get into an entry sometimes, and a bunch of other incorporated methodologies that my managers have taught me, but they don't really want me to talk to others about it. So I can't really mention those methodologies too much, but you guys hear me talk about it all the time anyway. So if you pay attention to what I'm saying, you will know my methodologies very, very easily. Very, very easily. SMH. This is a semiconductor industry sector, sorry. I only watch this as a barometer. Same thing with XLF. I only watch the XLF as a barometer. XLF finding resistance at the all-time high again. So if XLF starts selling off below all-time high, that should take Charles Schwab back to 61, which is a level that I have an alert for. But if XLF starts breaking back above all-time high, then you have a very easy long over here. You can see how multiple times we reject into 46, and then we sell off to the downside, then we bounce off the 100 EMA, or I think that's the 100 EMA. Let me quickly go check which one it is. It is the 50 EMA. We bounce off the 50 EMA on the daily chart and then move right back into the all-time high of $46 over here. So if XLF can break out, watching to see how that action plays out. You can even potentially look for other stocks that are moving in the same sector, such as JPM, the Wells Fargo, Citigroup, basically, and check all the bank stocks and see how they're moving if XLF is above 46. But if XLF is rejecting around 46, you might as well just get short XLF, in my opinion, and enjoy the ride to the downside. Sadly, the ATR is only 59 cents on this position, and that is a big turnoff for me. Big turnoff. But the amount of liquidity that the stock trades with, you have so much opportunity to load up on size, risk very little, and enjoy the ride. Make sure, if you're trading XLF, at least watch how the banks are doing. And if you're watching the banks, at least make sure you're watching how XLF is doing. Same thing for QQQ and SPY. If you're trading Apple, Microsoft, or any of the big names, you want to make sure that you're watching how QQQ is moving, how the SPY is moving. If you're not watching them, and if you don't have them up as your barometer, you're just asking for pain, asking to get hurt, and no one likes to get hurt, right? I hope no one likes to get hurt. Let's go take a look at the economic calendar. Econ calendar, what is this? Fed rate cut for the first time. Yes, we know about that already. FOMC member Bowman at 9 o'clock. Then we have the HPI composite, S&P, CS, HPI, okay, whatever that is. Then we have the consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. So not a very busy economic calendar. The economic calendar today was pretty dead too. Looks like tomorrow's calendar most likely dead also. We have the 2-year bond auction at 1 o'clock, potentially a little bit of a move off of that. We have a 3-star event, which is a consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. Usually 3-star events move the market, so you might want to pay attention to that one. And we also have Bowman giving his comments, most likely about the most recent Fed cut and potential Fed cuts later on at 9 o'clock, and that could also move the market. So watching what happens around 9 and 10 and then 1 o'clock tomorrow, that is basically the main time periods. What do we have for the IPO calendar? I know 26th of September we have a stock IPOing. So what is that? 26th. We have one on is that million? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 100. That's 100 million. That's 16 billion. Legacy Education, $16 billion company IPOing with only. Am I tripping? No, that's 16 million, Prad. Jesus Christ. Where was the big company that's IPOing? Was this not the one? Wasn't your in the billions? Did you guys drop your offer amount? I swear this was in the billion. There was at least one of them in the billions, chat. I'm not tripping. Either way, we got 3 over here that are potentially something to keep an eye on. This 12 million and 16 million are not relevant. 7 million is not relevant. 362 million, 124 million, and 163 million. But one of them is a pharmacy company, so instantly don't really care about that. This one looks like probably a clinical stage biopharma company. Instantly don't really care about that if it's a clinical stage company. And then we have a BKV, which was supposed to be a way larger amount, but that one dropped by quite a bit. So potentially not as many buyers, not as many investors in the pre-investment rounds for BKV. But hey, IPOs coming up very soon, and we'll talk about them as we get closer to those dates. So make sure you're tuning in Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. and check out my affiliate sponsors, Trade Ideas, TraderSync, and Benzinga. Use code PRAD15 to get 15% off. Here's my social media links if you want to stay up to date to what Praddy Daddy is doing, so you know when I'm going live and when I'm and all the other fun stuff. VIIX is one to watch for direction 2. VIIX. I mean VIX. I'm guessing you typed an extra I there. VIX, yeah, for sure. VIX for the volatility check. Jesus. Done. Yeah, VIX for sure. You know, this is a volatility ETF, basically showing you if the market has some fear or greed. And right now we're going back into the greed areas. But let me tell you, the market would very quickly get to fear sections if we start seeing some negative indications. If this economy doesn't get as good as the FOMC committee thinks that it is getting, then we could easily start scaring the market once again and dump it back down. So people want to be careful. I pulled up an interesting picture or infographic a couple days ago. Not sure if holy smokes, that's, let me take that off the chart real quick. Let's go over here and open up this picture. So the last time the Fed cut 50 beeps was 2 times in the past, and both times the economy has crashed. Okay, both times the economy has crashed. The 2 times previous were 2007 and 2001, as shown in the return tables below. These were the rate cuts cycles, -1 and 2. In 2001, the market fell by 31% for the 2 years continuing after that. And in 2007, the markets fell by 26%, and that continued for 2 years straight. So obviously that was a 2008 market crash. I don't really know about the 2002 market crash because I didn't really trade back then. I mean, I was just born. I was 1994, so it was like 6-7 years old. I didn't even know you know, what trading was back then. Well, I did, but I didn't. So I didn't really face that market crash. But 2008 market crash, you know, I saw what it did to my family. I saw what it did to my parents. You know, how we had to kind of climb back from that crisis and so on. And now potentially we might be going back into this thing. You know, market just before this, we were crying recession, 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 the same way they were crying back then. And then they had the big Fed rate cut, and then the whole market crashed. The same way we're doing it now. We were screaming recession, recession, recession right before this rate cuts, and now we got the rate cuts that we're looking for. Did they do it too quick, too soon? Boom. You can see right here, 2001, big crash. 2007, big crash. So potential warning signs over here if history is to repeat itself on the market. Nice algo, bro. It's not no algo. I follow this girl because I love her. I love her, and you know, I follow her for a reason. Are you kidding me? I mean, I probably will get banned on YouTube for even showing her. I follow her, okay? She is the only Coomer picture that you will see on my algo. Rest of my algo is cars, F1, unbox therapy because technology, something about AI, some meme stuff. Obviously this guy, because who doesn't watch this guy's stuff? This guy does amazing art with the candy or chocolate in general. Memes, more Formula 1 at Costco because I'm very interested every time Costco has something about Formula 1. My boy Lando Norris getting a 20-second win, baby. 20-second win. Lego, because I'm a big Lego guy. That's actually pretty cool. For 83 euros, this is in Europe? Come on, can we get this in Canada? I want this backpack. The Lego backpack looks sick, dude. Come on. I want the Lego backpack. MMA stuff. Okay, notice how there's no more Coomer stuff on my screen, okay? My algo, only one Coomer. That's it. And it's only that little Asian girl, that Asian girl. She's white Asian. Even chess. Alright? Where else in my algo do you see that? Where is this? See, I actually have a nice algo. I actually have a nice algo. My algo is not all that. Okay? I can scroll for days. Oh, you would say, what about this, Brad? That's Peggy Gao. Okay? She's a DJ. She's a DJ. Peggy Gao. Okay? See? No boobas. No anything else. Cars. F1. Sports betting. My vices are different, okay? My vices, okay, Dua Lipa, come on, you gotta have some Dua Lipa in there. But nope, no Coomer. No Coomer. My algo is clean. People would pay for my algo to have such a clean algo. Okay, my algo is clean. Very, very. I feel like you're giving me the tip, no homo. Click the link. Oh, what the hell? That's a Streamlabs comment. I'm reading a Streamlabs comment. I will get that Lego backpack and dye it black. That would be hard. They probably sell it in black. I hope it comes in black because it was in red too, right? Let's see. Looks like it comes in pink. Yeah, there you go. For sure it's gotta be in black. There's no way they only sell it in like bright yellow. That's crazy. They have to sell it in other colors. Looks like each one of these are pockets too. That's pretty cool. I mean, come on. That backpack is pretty neat, dude. I'd buy that backpack. You can buy it for 308 yen on Taobao. Can someone translate this shit for me? Boom. How do we know this is legit, chat? It's children's? Is it baby size? Aw, oh, come on. Better not be children's. 4 packets for 4 ounces. You're not gonna fit an ounce in there. You're crazy. You're nuts if you think that little pack fits an ounce. That's fitting an ounce of nothing. Maybe an ounce of blow, but not an ounce of grass. No way. We're about to get bricked up, boys. 4 pouches. That's funny. That's funny. All right, boys. It's 9 o'clock. We talked about all the stocks we wanted to talk about. The main one that I'm watching is tomorrow. Snowflake, PLCE, Palantir, Micron. Those are the 4 names I'm watching mainly on the watch list. We also have Qualcomm, Intel, Tesla, Meta, Apple in the sprinkle for the Magnificent 7 names that I'm watching, and then any other name in the pre-market that gets put on the watch list. You guys can subscribe to that. If you feel like to support me, you can do so on Patreon. If you support me on Patreon, you get my watch list sent out to you pre-market, given that I'm trading that day. So if I'm trading tomorrow, you'll most likely get that in your email. Let's see what else you guys are talking about right now. Lions aren't either. What are you talking about, Lions? What? I think I see Lions football in there. Remember, it's better to be lucky than good. Not sure what you're talking about over there, John. Great show, Pratt. Have a great night. Yes, that was the VIX. Yes, exactly. I knew you were talking about the VIX. I knew that VIXX was a little mistake over there, but I got your back, bro. I got your back. VIX, indeed, going back to the downside. Not above 19, the way I wanted it to be. Get back up, VIX, because that means the market's going down. But sadly, that is not the case for the market. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming by tonight. Remember, Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m., Sunday, 6 p.m. And hopefully every Sunday I get to bring in a new person on stream with us to have some fun. Actually, Angry Buddha, I might need your help a little bit with the software I'm trying out. I might need your help with that a little bit. Or maybe Dieter, whoever has a camera and a webcam and a microphone. I need some help with that, but we'll talk about this later on. I'll slide in your DMs when I need your help. Ladies and gentlemen, go have yourself a great rest of your night. I know I am. I'm gonna go play with my niece a little bit, grab some food to eat, grab my last medication pill. Actually, I don't think I can eat this now, so this one goes tomorrow, and then I'm done with my meds, and I can finally be free of these stomach problems, and I can go back to living free. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock. TraderPrad out. Good luck on the markets. Ciao. It destroys. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring in my big screen over here. Back to another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.